to go and couldn't. So for us, it was like, how can we pick up our brother who can't play? So, we were just going to find a way. That was definitely what we were talking about, just find a way.
Next, we'll go to Tim Reynolds.
Duncan, you guys, obviously, you're in. There's no play-in for you guys. What does it mean to get this first goal out of the way?
Oh, it's good, Obviously, to solidify yourself, in the playoffs is and have a chance to play for everything is what everyone's trying to do. So it's a great first step. We'll see how the rest of the season shakes out, with seeding and everything. But like you said, it's good to know that, we're out of that play-in for sure.
I know there hasn't been time to reflect, and this isn't really the time to reflect because you've got, a lot of games still to play. At least you hope you do anyway. But just the weirdness of this year, does it mean a little bit more to get through it all, to get through COVID and injuries and ups and downs and get here?
For sure. This year hasn't been easy. Obviously, it's not just on us; it's on everyone. It's been a lot of new protocols in place and challenges between for us, injuries and guys missing time because of protocols and whatnot, and people in and out of the lineup, and playing a pretty crazy schedule. So the combination of all those definitely doesn't make things easy, but certainly makes solidifying yourself and having a chance to play for everything more rewarding. So we're just going to keep pushing. This is obviously a checkpoint, but of course it's not the final destination.
Thanks, Doug.
Next, we'll go to Ira Winderman.
Duncan, you spoke to us a couple of weeks ago, maybe a week ago, about how this seems like almost one run-on season with the way it turns so quickly and the games keep coming. How nice is it to know that after Sunday, you were guaranteed 5 days off without a game now that you're not in the play-in to regroup for the playoffs?
Man, when you say it like that, it makes it sound even better. Yeah, for sure. It'll be great just to give our bodies a rest. Have a day maybe where you just kind of get away and are able to lock in. And then of course, I think it'll be great for us to be able to practice too. We haven't really been able to practice. It's been walkthroughs and individuals and walk and talks and stuff like that. So, it's great. Yeah, that's awesome.
And also, you've had a little different career arc where you've sort of earned your way in and found yourself. Tyler sort of exploded on the scene as a rookie. Then, had some maybe a little bit of rough patches. But to see him come back the way he has, including starting the second half tonight in place of Jimmy and giving you key baskets, what's it sort of feel, for your perspective, see a guy like Tyler come all the way back again?
Super happy for him. He deserves it. Works his ass off. Handles everything the right way. He's got a lot coming at him, obviously. But he's the consummate professional with how he handles it, and everyone in that locker room wants to see him be successful because of who he is as a person. So, and not only that, but like we all know what he's capable of and what he does. So that was no surprise to see him bounce back and be back to who he is.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Anthony Chang.
Hey, Duncan. Every team wants to be playing their best basketball at this point of the season, and it seriously seems that you guys are, winning 10 of 13, and the way the offense is playing. What's the journey been like to this point? Obviously not knowing if you guys have reached this level through all the ups and downs. What's the journey been like through this season to kind of reach this point where you guys are starting to peak?
Yeah, I alluded to it earlier, but a lot of teams have had different challenges. This year's been challenging in a variety of ways, but like you said, it's just all about trying to find a way to be playing your best basketball at the right time. So I think there are areas of our game that are trending. There are areas of our game that, of course, still can be tighter and better. But right now it's just about finding a way to win. Come out on top night in, night out. Like I've kind of said it before, but we feel like the playoffs started for us a little while ago. So these are meaningful games, and this is what you work for. This is what you want to play in. Get the juices flowing.
Thanks, Duncan.
Next, we go to Cooper Moorhead.
Okay, just real quick on Tyler again. Obviously the shots are going in, which is half the battle, but what about his offensive resurgence of late feels most sustainable to beyond just the shots going in?
I think it's sustainable just because we've all seen it before. But just the biggest thing is, I personally just love seeing him play with that kind of grit and confidence. I don't think that it necessarily waver, but obviously it helps when the ball goes in and it kind of compounds and builds. So, I tell him all the time, you're be a killer, go be a killer out there, and you guys saw it tonight for sure.
Thank you.
Next, we'll go to Brady Hawk.
Hey, Duncan. When Jimmy went out in the second half, Bam was really looked to increase some of the offensive aggression. Just how much have you noticed his ability to adjust and be able to produce in those different roles whenever a guy goes out?
Yeah, I mean, Bam is so versatile in that regard. He can impact the game in so many ways without taking shots, and he's really good at kind of picking his spots and also knowing when it's time for him to be who he is, to be an all-star and to dominate the game offensively. And I think you saw that tonight, particularly when Jimmy went down. Obviously, we're running a lot more stuff through him, and he, of course, rose to the occasion like we all expect him to.
Next, we go to Andres Lopez with Caturo Sports, Puerto Rico.
Thank you. Duncan, you mentioned in your podcast with Joe Ingles how there's certain players that you just don't want to trash talk because it makes them tap into this whole new level. Today, we saw you get into a bit of a verbal scuffle with Marcus Smart, and then you went off. Is this kind of rubbing in on you as well? Did that verbal scuffle and intensity make you tap in and, help you elevate your game?
First off, I appreciate you tuning into the pod. Good looks on that. Second, I mean, Mark, I have a lot of respect for Marcus, how hard he plays, and we were just kind of talking about the play more than anything. But anytime you kind of get into something like that, it activates you for sure. It definitely added to the chip on my shoulder. So maybe I guess I don't necessarily see myself as that type of guy, but every now and then I guess.
Next, we go to Barry Jackson.
Hi, Duncan. One thing that was clear during last year's run is all the parts, all the pieces seem to fit together. Is it starting to feel like that now with how seamlessly Trevor's fit in as a starting four, with Dwayne is giving you off the bench, this team returning to health now as well?
Yeah, for sure. We're definitely starting to feel that continuity, which I think is really, really important. And you just gotta kind of build that connection on both ends of the floor, and it's certainly not easy, but it's something that takes time, and it takes guys being willing to buy in, and that's what we have. We have a great group of guys, and older guys who have done it and won at the highest level, and then younger guys that are eager to continue to prove themselves and play with confidence. So I think we got a good mix.